Whoa, I think I'm live. All right, here is the preview video for tomorrow's race, the 2 for Forza SRS event at Barbagallo using the BMW M235i. So far, I am not having great success at this track. Rob has said that he's done a 101.2. My fastest lap, I think, is like a 101.5. So I got some catching up to do. Let me set some stuff up real quick. Alright. So, let me make sure my setup is what I want. I'm softening the front suspension a little bit because I was having issues with understeer. And instead of tightening the rear more, which was giving me some problems with consistency with sliding, I'm just softening the front a little bit. I'm also dropping down the rebound in the front by 1 click, and the toe in the rear I am giving less toe in. I think 22 liters will be enough for the race. I'm running the Trofeo mediums, 17 psi on the left, 20 on the front right, 19 on the back right. I will go over setup a little bit more at the end of the stream. But let's see what we can do. Let's talk about some stuff. Hold on 1 sec. Oh, how do I do this? Would it display VR view full screen? There we go. Alright, so Barbagallo. Oh, god damn it, I got that yellow dot right in the middle and I can't move it, but that's okay. We'll just go without it. Okay, so Barbagallo, Australian track. They race V8 supercars here. Pit entrance puts you past turn 1. Or pit exit, I should say. So, let's just drive a couple laps and talk about some stuff for a second here. So, what I'm noticing is you can definitely late apex a lot of these turns, but it seems like my lap times are fastest when I'm right in the middle, like somewhere between a late apex and an early apex, I guess you would call it. Once we get up here, I'll talk about the lap in detail. It's a very short track, 1 minute long laps and whatnot, so it's going to be about a 18 to 19 lap race. So here we go through the start. So we're coming up to turn 1 here. Gonna get a wide entrance into this. Try to, like I said, like right in between a late apex and an early apex, somewhere in the middle. Try to take the exit as wide as possible. Come up through these little twisties. We want to hug the right side as we come up to here. Somewhere between a late apex and an early apex, I think, is key for this. We want to be fully on the gas. Right here, we want to be flat out. Try not to clip that curb too hard. So again, off camber a little bit. We're not a late apex, not an early apex, somewhere in between. I think that that's the best line to take, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm not the fastest around here all of a sudden. I think I'm going to have someone's going to give me a run for my money tomorrow night. Now this turn is the one, the last turn of the track is the one that's giving me, I think, the most fits. So you don't want to take it too fast because you don't want to run it wide, but at the same time you don't want to take it too slow and cut the turn too early. I mean, isn't that the whole deal about racing. You don't want to take turns too fast, and you don't want to take turns too slow, right? Speaking the obvious. Alright, so again, we're somewhere in between this late apex and early apex type deal. We are flat out. I don't want to touch the curb too much. Don't want to upset the balance of the car. We're coming up here. We're hard on the brakes. See, that's too late. That's too late what I just did right there. I mean, yeah, you'll have a run, but I don't think it's the fastest way around the track. Now, coming up on the last turn again, here we go. So, the 100-yard marker, or foot marker, or whatever, is right there. I'm braking right after it, is where I think the best braking point is. Now, it's okay to take a little bit of curb here. So, we'll pick up the pace a little bit, go a little bit faster. See, like that, that's a little bit too early on the apex, I think. That first turn, you just want the tail end to kind of drag around. That's what I was talking about. I was having problems with understeer, but I didn't want to tighten the rear of the car anymore because I was getting these, just these not great slides, like the car was finding itself entering. See, I think... Oh, I was a little bit late on the brakes, but I think that right there is the line that you're supposed to really take. That kind of just middle of the turn type line. All right, let's be hard on the brakes here and show you what this is. Now, I'm kind of like right in between gears right there too, which sucks. I need to figure out if I want to take that turn in third or fourth. Right here, I'm basically braking at the cone. I think the cone is a good spot to try to get your brakes. You might be able to get it just a few feet past it is the optimum braking point. Remember, we're hot, not that high up, but we want to be out here a little bit so we can be almost fully on the gas. Let me show you some telemetry. Oh, shit. Hold on one sec. Let's go back to the pits real quick. Let me exit out of this VR view real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me put up some telemetry. Makes me sick to my stomach putting this stuff up. Blech. So gross. I just wanted to put up pedals and the Delta. So you guys will have my pedal information here, tire information here, Delta information there. Alright, let's set this bad boy back up. Alright. Oops. Okay. Alright. Let's do the damn thing. I'm going to run a little bit faster laps. I'm also going to talk about where the good passing points are. Now, yeah, there's not really a lot of turns on this track, so really the passing points are the turn coming up, the wide right-hander. You can get a little bit of a draft here, nothing crazy. But this is definitely going to be a point where you can set up turns, because if someone wants to defend heavy on the inside and you take the wider angle on the turn and get that later apex, you're going to have a run on them right here. Now this is the part where you'll actually get a draft. And I think this turn coming up is the passing opportunity. This is where the battles are going to be taking place. Now, if you want to defend hard on the inside, that's perfectly doable, because let's say I defend, the guy's now on my left kinda, I can block and be on the inside for this turn too, which I think this turn is much more important to be on the inside than the other turn, because then you can just block him out. He's kind of right behind me now, and I can just block him out going through here. There's really no passing opportunity here. Now, same thing goes though. I have to block the inside right there. I can't leave the door open, which is going to allow him to have the better exit. And a slight draft, not much. And then I've got to be right back in on the inside to defend, which is going to give him that better exit. And yeah, like I said, I think the key passing spot for this track is the final turn. Being able to draft, get the better exit, and then draft, and then attack however you want on this final turn. Now remember, a late turn, like say he's blocking the inside, you can take this curb and try to pass him on the outside. That's completely doable. It's not a death sentence if you touch that curb in an inappropriate manner. Show me on the doll where the curb touched you. Okay. So, let's do some flying laps. Let's see where I'm at. Let's get these tires some actual heat in it and see what's going on. Yeah, I don't know how Rob ran that 101.2. He is he's about 3/10 faster than I am. Rumor has it, though, he runs ghosts and cheater lines. He's from Queens. Like, what would you expect? He's shiesty. Alright, let's run a couple hot laps here and see what we can get. I didn't like that, and I don't like the fact that I'm in fourth. Just seems like the car wants to, it's just a little bit too low in the R's. See, like, oh, well, besides for that little twitch at the end of the turn, that's kind of the line that I'm thinking is the best line. You can see my tire pressures, they look good across the board. That right front tire is going to get a little chilly, and the back left tire is going to get a little warm. Alright, let's see what we can do. Now this is with race fuel. You can qualify with about, I think I'm going to qualify with like 6 liters and go to the pits, run like, 4 flying laps, and then then jump back to the pits, get more gas. I don't want to take that much curb. Gotta be patient right there. You've got to be patient. You don't want to step on the gas too early and drive the car wide and into the dirt. Tried a little bit later brake right there. See how that worked out. You definitely get a better exit, but it's basically moot time-wise. kind of feathering the throttle through there. A little bit too early. See, and the exit wasn't as good, losing time. Wow. That was. See, that's the thing about brake markers that I don't really care for. Because say you get a not so great exit on a turn like that, your brake marker is not going to be the same. It's going to be only by, you know, a few feet difference, but there is going to be a difference. You can tell there I didn't get the exit that I wanted, braked at my normal brake marker, and I was way too early. A little late right there. Alright, let's get back into the groove. Oh, I think that's almost perfect. That was what I was looking for. That's what the doctor ordered. Kind of try to take that out as wide as you can. Kind of feathering the throttle just a little bit. A little bit more curb than I would have hoped for. Still down a tenth, or up a tenth, I should say. That turn kind of gives me fits. Got a little bit better exit that time. Yeah, not as good. See, the final turn is weird. If you run it too wide, it's like, it's okay to do, but it's definitely slower. If you just got to find just that right amount of apex to use, because if it's just a little bit too early, you're going to be losing time. And if it's a little bit too late, you're going to be losing time. That's kind of the story here. It's like, there is an optimum line here. I mean, I guess there's kind of an optimum line on every track, but you know, there's a lot. I feel like a lot of tracks, it's like the optimum line is like it's a trade-off. Like if you early apex something and get a bad exit, you gain time on the apex but lose time on the exit. If you late apex it and then you lose time on the actual corner, but you gain time on the exit. Where on this track, it doesn't seem to be that way. It's like there's you know, there's the last turn and the wide right-hander, which we'll call what? This is turn 1. Call this turn 2. Call this turn 3. Turn 4. Turn 5. So turn 6 is what I'm gonna call it. This corner, I feel like there is an optimum line. Like there is a way to be fast on the exit and a way to be fast on the actual corner itself. If that makes sense. There isn't a trade-off. You can't not do one and then expect to outgain yourself in the other. It's like you got to get both parts right, and same goes for this turn. I feel like you can't expect to go wide and have the entrance be faster. Like it's got to all be perfect, which makes this track kind of tricky in a way. see if I can beat my record. I think that 4 was my, that 101.4 was a record of mine. This track will be fun, though. It makes for good racing. I'm a fan of these shorter tracks because it's easier to get a lot of practice in, you know, because it's not like Nordschleife where you get to practice one turn every, 7 minutes. And, it's not like even Mugello where you get to practice one turn every, I'm going to say 2 minutes and 45 seconds. It's... everyone's going to be seasoned. The times are not going to be crazy different. Like, I'd say maybe the top 7 guys are within maybe 5/10. And when everyone's in that close racing, then you've got people taking defensive lines. You got people catching back up from the back. I just feel like that's what makes for a tight race. The second, because, you can hot lap all you want, but when you got someone on your ass and you can't allow... God damn, I am trash right now. When you got someone on your ass and it doesn't allow you to drive that optimum line, you're going to be slower. That's what makes the racing exciting. That's what allows everyone else to catch back up. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I just want all the 204s guys to do good. Yeah, I want to win the race myself, but I want all the 204F guys to do good. See, I was up, I was up 0.06 entering that turn, I think. Took it a little bit too cautiously. Well, if you want to break a lap record, you can do it like that, I guess. Surprised that didn't count my lap as invalid. Yeah, but it seems like that's going to be kind of my consistent pace, is that high 104s, low high 101.4s and low 101.5s. And you know what's funny though is I've done, probably in this morning I've done, I don't know, 35 laps around here, and I just can't find that groove that I'm looking for with this car on some of these tracks. And I mean, we'll talk setup here in a second, but I don't think it's as much a setup thing as it's me just not really getting along with the style of corner. They're kind of long corners, like this one and turn 6, the right hander, and even this one coming up. These long, like, I don't even know what to describe them as, but just these long, patient corners that you got to take. Well, we'll talk setup here pretty quick. I got to get ready for another SRS race. It's actually, a funny thing is it's here. It's in the Group 5 cars here, which is going to be crazy. You're going to have cars with, 600 plus horsepower racing on this little tiny track. I'm gonna give up. hoping that I can pick up some pace. A little tired, but yeah, it's okay. It's crazy to think that they drive V8 supercars here. Alright, let me exit out of this full screen stuff and we'll talk setup here real quick. And then I gotta go. What is this? CMVR status. Okay, let's get rid of you. Alright, so let's talk setup real quick. I should be able to lean in because I know that the view gets distorted when I leave that VR view thing. So again, I'm running 20 pressure on the front right, 19 on the back right, 17's on the left. Pressure is fine. It's just that temperature on that front right gets cold and the lefts just get warm. I mean, there's like one left-hander here. Everything else is right-hander, so it makes sense. Fuel, I'm going to run 20. I still think that you can get away with 20 liters, but I'm probably just going to run 22 to be safe, be more than safe. Electronics, I'm still running traction control and ABS. Alignment, now I did change the rear toe a little bit. As you can see, it's 15, which is giving me like 0.08 on the rears, 0.09. Just felt like the car, it didn't need to be more stable. Like, I wasn't worried about braking stability, so the toe doesn't need to be as wild. Dampers, I dropped that rebound just a little bit to help with the, because it says lower values eliminate understeer under acceleration. So but also make the car more sluggish on changing direction. I don't really think this track, it doesn't have very many high-speed chicane type deals in it. So I really don't think the changing of direction matters as much, because most of the turns are kind of just like, make the car go right and not make the car go left and then right really quickly type deal. So I really wanted to help the understeer on turn 6 on the exit. Especially the final turn, that's the big one. That is what I really wanted to help it with understeer, with acceleration, and then, as you're coming around turn 5, I would call it turn 5, the part where we need to be flat out, but we shouldn't clip the curb. That part, I want it to not understeer as bad. So dropped a rebound by 1 click on the fronts, but I'm running 5 and 5 on both the fronts, and then 4 and 2 on the rears for bump and rebound. It's very similar to the Okayama tune that I was using, or the Avanstio tune that I was using. I think those two tunes were exactly the same. This one I changed just a little bit, so I softened the front to 74. It normally was 82. Softened it to 74, kept the ride height at 100. Rears I kept at 80 and kept the ride height at 80. Like I was saying, I felt like the problem was not that the car was sluggish. It was that I was just getting a little bit too much understeer at turn 4, kind of. The one kind of right over there. like you can see the gap through the tires, like right over that way, that segment, that complex of turns. I just didn't want to tighten the rear anymore, because like I said, the problem with tightening the rear too much is, while yeah, you definitely can get the car to rotate, it's just that sometimes you get the car to rotate in an unnecessary way that you don't want it to be rotated. Like, it just overdoes it sometimes, and you enter slides, and slides are what really slow you down. So instead of doing that, I softened the front, tried to helping with that understeer a little bit, and while keeping the car wanting to rotate. But yeah, so that's my preview for here. So my fastest lap is a 101.465, and like Rob says, he's got a 101.2. I mean, we'll see how consistent he is with that, but I think it's going to be a good race no matter what. I'm hoping that we've got our normal guys and 204s there, and yeah, it should be fun. But that's going to be it for now. thanks for watching the video. I hope you learned something from it. If not, tell me I suck. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Talk to you guys later.